survey?
I think the survey was underlined. I think what are the key differences and what differentiates magazines from other media. And I think it brought alive with numbers things that we may have thought to be true but we didn't know they were. And the fact that therefore magazines, particularly in today's world where there is such a rush, and if you look at what really is effective in terms of how deeply do people engage with a particular medium, I think it brought out the fact that magazines on a variety of parameters offer much more meaningful engagement and then backed it up with numbers. So I think that was useful. I think digital, because people tend to think of the digital as a medium, which is not true. I mean, digital is a market, it's a medium, it's a public square. So digital is a space. It's a new world. The new world needs to be populated by all kinds of things. So it has content that it borrows from everywhere else. So there is the YouTube is video content which it borrows in a sense from cinema and television in some form. And similarly it borrows from newspapers, it borrows from print, it borrows from books. You have readers, e-readers, and you have a whole lot of you have Google books. So whenever you start equating and thinking of digital as a medium that competes with other media forms, you're guilty of oversimplification. There is pure digital content, but actually that's not the key challenge in a lot of cases. It's the fact that it's not as if people are not reading the news, but they're reading the news in a different way. It's not as if they're not reading articles, but they're reading it in a different way. So it's a mistake to position this as the opposite of an existing medium, and I think when you do that, you lose, because clearly digital is the way of the future. And if you say I am the opposite of digital, you're essentially saying that I don't belong to the future, and which is simply the wrong place to start. Like I said, in two ways. One, to say that we are actually what gives teeth to digital, and therefore to integrate themselves with the digital form of distribution, the digital form of access, and it also means modifying yourself in a way that works in digital format wise. The fact that digital allows you links and allows you therefore hyperlinks. You cannot then say that I'm a magazine and in my offline version I don't have hyperlinks. So if I'm, for instance, covering Rajesh Khanna's death, I can show songs, I can show dialogues. It's silly not to do that. So when you make that transition, you modify it, embed yourself in digital. One. B, also do not be afraid of the fact that the world needs a counterpoint to some elements of the digital, which is fast pace, breathlessness, lack of depth. And people are already looking for the ways of escape. And magazine is a wonderful way of doing that. So I think both complementarity as well as the fact that it allows to the digital generation. It allows them another way of accessing the world. It's not old people's medium versus young people's medium. It is young people, they have one kind of need that they fulfill through social media of a certain kind. They themselves have another kind of need. So position yourself within the world of the digital, but offer a counterpoint.